Some betrayals come with slamming doors and words you can't take back. Others? They show up in picture frames. Quiet, deliberate, and cruel in that special way only family can make feel like tradition. Mine. They erased me from the walls before they even noticed I was gone. Let me start from the beginning. My name's Anthony. Youngest of 3. Grew up in a modest 2-story house on the edge of a cul-de-sac where everyone knew your dog's name and your business. My parents, Diane and Victor, were old school. Respect is earned, not given, kind of people. Problem was, they never got around to respecting me. I was the quiet one. The moody one. The one they always said thought he was better than everyone else just because I didn't yell to be heard. My brother, Michael, was the golden child, loud, charming, good with his hands, even better at taking credit. And my sister, Lily, had the halo effect. Sweet, soft-spoken, always conveniently neutral when things got messy. Then there was me. I didn't raise my voice much, but I remembered everything. Every jab dressed as a joke. Every time they told me I was too sensitive for reacting to being left out. Every Thanksgiving where my seat felt colder than the stuffing. Still, I showed up. Holidays. Birthdays. House repairs. I brought wine and patience. Fixed the broken railing. Paid for Mom's new stove without saying a word. When Dad got sick and the bills started stacking up, I was the one who refinanced my place, took on the second loan, and signed my name to their mortgage, quietly, privately, legally. They never asked how. Never said thank you. But they sure cashed the check. The fight started over something stupid. Isn't that how it always goes? Christmas dinner, wine in too many glasses, Michael mouthing off about how some people in this family think they're above us, and my dad laughing just a little too hard. I kept my cool, until he said I was lucky they even kept me around. I stood up, said I was done being the family ATM, the emotional punching bag, the background character in a story I helped finance. And then I left. No slammed doors. No curse words. Just keys in my hand, coat on my back, and silence behind me. I didn't go back for a while. Didn't call. Didn't text. I figured maybe space would do us both some good. But 2 months later, I stopped by, mostly to drop off some documents about the mortgage, which, surprise surprise, they still hadn't bothered to read. That's when I noticed the walls. The family portraits were all still there, just different. In the one from my college graduation, they'd cropped me out completely. Just Michael with my parents, like he was the one who walked the stage. In the beach photo from Lily's birthday trip, I was replaced. Like I'd never been there. Even the framed one in the hallway, our only photo with Grandma before she passed, had me blurred. Not removed. Blurred. Like someone had tried to erase me but didn't quite know how. I stared at that wall, heart thudding, stomach cold. My mother walked past me in the hallway, didn't even flinch. Thought it looked cleaner, she said, like she was commenting on throw pillows. I didn't say a word. Just handed her the envelope with the mortgage update. She took it without looking. Thanks, she said. You can go now. So I did. And I didn't come back. Not for Easter. Not for birthdays. Not for when Michael and Lily had their kids and posted baby photos online with captions like, "Family means everything." They had their story now. Their edited history. And I had the papers. The legal ones. The ones that said, in writing, that the deed to that house, the one with my face wiped off every wall, belonged, in part, to me. The payments? Auto-drafted from my account. The power? They hadn't even realized I had it. Not until they missed a few payments. And the letters started coming in. 3 months went by. No birthdays. No barbecues. No "we miss you" messages. They erased me from the pictures and, as far as they were concerned, from the family, too. I didn't fight it. Didn't chase them. I just lived my life, quiet, steady, paycheck to paycheck like everyone else. But the thing about silence? It doesn't stay mutual forever. Especially when money's involved. I got the first hint something was off when I noticed the mortgage statement was climbing. Not by much, just enough to raise an eyebrow. The payment had been late twice. Third time, it was skipped. That's when the bank started sending letters. I didn't say anything. Just watched. Waited. Then the phone rang. It was Lily. Now, Lily hadn't called me in over half a year. Last I heard from her was a group message I wasn't supposed to see, something about how Anthony needs to get over himself. But here she was, calling me like we were close. I let it ring twice before answering. "Hey," I said, flat. She jumped in fast. "Hey, Aunt. I just wanted to ask, are you still on the mortgage? For Mom and Dad's house?" She didn't even try to ease into it. That's how I knew they were scared. "I am," I said. "Why?" A pause. I think there's been some confusion. Dad thought the payments were coming from a different account, and now they got a letter. Something about a missed payment. He's really stressed. "Tell him not to worry," I said. "I saw the letter too." Another pause. You could almost hear her blinking. "You got it?" "I'm listed as the primary," I reminded her. "Legally. Financially. If payments stop, it doesn't go to you. It goes to me." Oh. That was it. One syllable, packed with more panic than apology. That night, I got a call from Michael. Now that was something. He hadn't spoken directly to me since the Christmas explosion. Last time we were in the same room, he accused me of thinking I was better than the family, said I was just a walking wallet with an attitude. So imagine my surprise when he opened with, "Hey, Tony." Not Anthony. Tony. Like we were kids again. Like we were close. "I just wanted to check in," he said. "I think there's been some misunderstanding with the bank, and Lily said maybe you could help explain it." I sat on my couch, staring at my TV like it might give me strength. "It's not a misunderstanding," I said. "The payment stopped. The account flagged it. I'm on the paperwork. I get the same letters they do." He cleared his throat. "Right. Yeah. I just didn't realize it was, that serious." I could hear the real thing in his voice now, fear. Because for the first time, he wasn't the golden child. For the first time, he needed me. And he hated that. "I was planning to get it back on track," he added quickly, like he wanted credit for even thinking about it. "Dad's just been sick, and Mom's overwhelmed, and it's been a lot. You know how it is." "I do," I said. "I've always known. That's why I stepped up. Remember?" Silence. "I'm not trying to cause drama," he said. "Neither am I," I replied. But funny how nobody called until it was about money. Another silence. Then, finally. "You coming to Dad's birthday this weekend?" There it was. The olive branch. I leaned back, stared at the ceiling. I wasn't invited. "You are now," he said, quieter. It didn't feel like a reunion. It felt like a rescue line tossed into water they set me adrift in. But still, it was something. "Let me think about it," I said. And I meant it. Because showing up meant something now. My presence wasn't just optional anymore. It came with weight. With leverage. With a new kind of respect they hadn't budgeted for. And maybe, just maybe, I was ready to collect. I didn't RSVP. Didn't text back. Didn't confirm. I just showed up. Dad's birthday landed on a Sunday that year, warm, clear skies, the kind of weather that makes people believe in second chances. The driveway was full, kids' bikes on the grass, cousins spilling out of minivans. Someone was already grilling in the backyard. It looked like any other family party, until I walked in. I wasn't trying to make a scene. I didn't wear a suit or show up with a bodyguard. Just jeans, button down, and a bottle of scotch, Dad's favorite. Same brand I gave him 3 years ago, the year he told me he was proud of Michael for sticking close to home while I chased paperwork. I stepped through the front door and felt every conversation in the room hit pause. Lily saw me first. Her smile came fast, brittle, the kind you put on when the spotlight lands where you weren't ready for it. "Hey, Aunt," she said. "You made it." Michael looked up from the kitchen, beer halfway to his lips. He gave me a nod, tight, cautious, like he wasn't sure if I was going to flip the table or hug the dog. "Mom." She just stared. Not a glare. Not a welcome. Just the face of someone who thought they'd cleaned the slate by cropping me out of photos and didn't expect to see the ghost of the erased walking through the front door. "Happy birthday," I said to Dad, holding out the bottle. He took it. Hands slower than I remembered. Skin thinner. Time had been moving while we were all pretending it wasn't. "Thanks," he said, voice hoarse. "Didn't think you'd come." "Neither did I told him, and he didn't argue. I mingled a bit. Said hi to the kids. Ate a hot dog off a paper plate like nothing was broken. But the truth hung in the air like humidity, thick and silent. Everyone knew. Maybe not the details, but enough. That there'd been a fallout. That money was involved. That the youngest had gone quiet and the walls had been rearranged to hide the shape of his absence. And then it happened. Dinner came, and the table was set. But there was no chair for me. Every place had a name card. Michael. Lily. Mom. Dad. Their spouses. Even the in-laws. But not me. It wasn't an oversight. It was muscle memory. They'd been living without me so long, they forgot I'd ever needed a seat. Michael saw it before I said anything. He grabbed a folding chair from the hall closet and slid it next to Lily. Didn't say a word. Just placed it, patted it, and moved on. I sat down. Didn't complain. Didn't joke. Just sat and ate my meal. And when the cake came out, I stood. Glass in hand. "Mind if I say something?" I asked, loud enough for the backyard to hush. Everyone turned. Not expecting much. Not from the one they used to treat like a spare tire. I held my glass up, looked at Dad. "Happy birthday. I know we haven't been on the same page for a while. I know I haven't been around." No one interrupted. Even the kids went still. "But I want to say thank you," I continued. "Because this year, maybe for the first time, I finally understood what family really is." Michael's brow furrowed. Lily shifted. "Family," I said, "isn't just who shows up for cake. It's who's there when things get quiet. When the bills come due. When the foundation cracks and someone has to step in and carry it." I let that hang. I'm not here because I forgot what happened. I'm here because I remembered what I did. I signed those papers. Took on those payments. Put my name on a house that once had my face in it. I looked around the table. Even when it didn't have space for me. I raised my glass. To the future, may it include everyone who's willing to include each other. Dad raised his glass, slowly. Followed by Michael. Then Lily. Mom didn't lift hers. But she didn't walk away either. Progress. After the cake, people mingled again. The air relaxed. Music played. A couple relatives came over and said they were glad I was back. I smiled. Said thanks. But inside? I wasn't back. Not really. Not yet. They hadn't earned that. But they'd remembered my name. Made space, even if it came late. And now? Now they were the ones wondering if I'd stay. I didn't stay long after the cake. Hung around just long enough for the cousins to ask where I'd been, for a few aunts to whisper, "He seems different," when they thought I was out of earshot, and for Michael to offer me another beer I didn't take. Before I left, I stopped by the kitchen to rinse my plate. That's when I saw it, a plain white envelope sitting on the counter. My name was written on it. Not Aunt, not Tony. Just Anthony, in my father's handwriting, blocky and unsure, like it had taken effort. I picked it up, didn't open it. Walked back through the house with it in my hand, and no one stopped me. Until I stepped onto the front porch. That's where Dad was, leaning on the railing, like he had been waiting for me or maybe didn't want to be inside when the silence filled up again. He glanced at the envelope in my hand. "I asked your mother to leave that for you," he said. "Didn't want to make it a thing." "What is it?" I asked. "Something overdue." I didn't open it. Not yet. Instead, I leaned on the post beside him, the porch creaking like it remembered every childhood summer we sat out there without saying much. He rubbed his jaw, the way he always did when he was uncomfortable. "Truth is," he said, "I didn't think you'd show up." I nodded. "I know. We messed up." "Yeah," I said. "You did." He didn't argue. Didn't defend it. Just stared out at the driveway, at the street where I once rode my bike in loops so tight my mom would yell at me for wearing down the grass. "You've always been solid," he said. "Even when we didn't give you reason to be." He cleared his throat. "I didn't see it back then. All the things you were doing, helping out, signing those papers, showing up. I thought. I don't know. That it was your way of trying to impress us. I didn't see that you were already carrying more than we gave you credit for." "That's because you weren't looking," I said. He nodded, slow. Took the hit like a man who knew he deserved it. "Things are different now," he said. "Are they?" I asked. He looked over at me. "They can be. But only if you want them to be. I'm not going to pretend we didn't fail you." And there it was. The shift. Not a performance. Not guilt. Just ownership. The kind that doesn't come easy for a man like my father, proud, quiet, raised to believe feelings were things you apologized for after you had them. I finally opened the envelope. Inside was a check. Not huge, but not small either. Made out to me. The memo line read, "Back payments. Mortgage." "I know it doesn't fix it," he said. "But it's a start." And in that moment, I realized something important. I didn't need the money. I didn't even need the seat at the table anymore. What I needed, what I'd been craving without knowing it, was for someone in that house to look me in the eye and say, "You mattered. You mattered the whole time. We just pretended you didn't because it was easier than dealing with our own guilt." I folded the check. Slipped it back into the envelope. And for the first time in years, I asked a question I hadn't dared before. "You want me back, or you want what I bring?" Dad looked at me, real and clear. "I want you back. Not the checkbook. Not the repairs. You." I nodded. Didn't promise anything. Didn't say I'd be there for Thanksgiving. But I didn't walk away angry. Just, lighter. And as I pulled out of the driveway, the porch light turned on behind me. They were watching. But for once, I didn't feel like the outsider. I felt like the one who got to choose if he ever walked through that door again. 3 weeks later, I got a package in the mail. No return address, just my name written across the top in neat, unfamiliar handwriting, not my mother's, not Lily's, and definitely not Michael's. For a second, I thought maybe it was a mistake, some wedding invite or wrong delivery. But when I opened it, I froze. Inside were photographs. On top was the beach picture from Lily's birthday, the one where they'd cropped me out. Only this time, I was there again. Back in the lineup, right between Lily and Michael, holding a plastic cup and laughing at something off camera. It wasn't a reprint, no, this was the original photo. The real one. The one I hadn't seen since it vanished off the hallway wall. Beneath it was the graduation photo, too. The one they'd replaced with a tighter shot. I was standing between Mom and Dad, cap slightly crooked, a rare full smile on my face. And underneath that? Grandma's photo. The last one we took before she passed, me sitting beside her on the porch swing, her hand on mine. Unblurred. Restored. Taped to the bottom of the box was a note. Simple. Black ink. Short. We're putting things back where they belong. Starting with you. Lily. That did something to me I didn't expect. Not rage. Not relief. Just, release. Because for so long, I'd been carrying the weight of a family that didn't want to admit it needed me. And now, they weren't just admitting it. They were showing it. One frame at a time. The following week, I got a text from Mom. No preamble. No small talk. Just. We're having Thanksgiving. Your plate's here if you want it. No pressure. I didn't respond right away. Let it sit. Then, the day before Thanksgiving, I showed up. Not with a casserole. Not with a checkbook. Just myself. The door opened before I knocked. Mom stood there, apron on, eyes red. From onions or something else, I'll never know. She didn't hug me. Not at first. She just stepped aside, let me walk in, and said, "It's good to see you." And it was. Good. Strange. Familiar, but not forced. The living room had changed. Photos were back. My face was back. But there was one new photo on the mantle, one I hadn't seen before. It was from Dad's birthday. That folding chair. The one they added last minute. Someone had taken a picture of me sitting in it, mid-toast, glass raised, eyes lit by candlelight. It wasn't the most flattering photo. But it was honest. I looked like someone who had finally said what needed to be said, and been heard. And under the frame, written in gold pen. The one who came back anyway. Dinner was quieter than usual. Not tense, just careful. Like everyone was trying not to mess up the moment. But you know what? That was okay. Because sometimes healing doesn't come with big speeches or weepy hugs. Sometimes it comes with a table set properly. A chair that's already there. And a meal where no one asks you to earn your place, they just hand you the mashed potatoes and let you be. I stayed longer than I expected. Helped with dishes. Laughed at one of Michael's dad jokes. Talked with Lily on the back porch about nothing in particular. And for the first time in years, I drove home without clenching the steering wheel. It was January when I finally sat down with the paperwork. Cold outside. Quiet. Just me at the kitchen table with a pen in one hand and a decision in the other. I'd been thinking about it for weeks, since the photos showed up, since Thanksgiving didn't leave me hollow, since Dad looked me in the eye and said he wanted me, not the help, not the money. The mortgage transfer wasn't a small thing. It was control. It was leverage. But more than that, it was trust, tied up in signatures and legalese. I'd held it like a shield for nearly 2 years. And it had protected me, but it had also kept me out. Kept them out. So I called a meeting. At the house. Same living room where they'd once removed my face from the walls like I was a bad memory. Same floorboards I helped install. Same rug where I sat as a kid while Michael opened birthday presents twice as loud as mine. Mom. Dad. Michael. Lily. All there. I brought a folder, not manila this time. Just navy blue. Simple. When I handed it to Dad, he looked nervous. I'm transferring it back into your names, I said. Full control. Full responsibility. Michael opened his mouth, probably to object, but I held up a hand. I'm not doing this to pull away. I'm doing it so we're even. So no one has to wonder who owes who anymore. Dad nodded slowly. Took the pen. No strings, he asked. None, I said. We're starting fresh. It felt like the last stone rolling off my back. The final piece of the past clicking into place. That night, as I got up to leave, Mom stopped me at the door. We're taking a new family photo next weekend, she said. I raised an eyebrow. What, just slap me back in the old ones? No, she said. This one's from now on. No more edits. Just us, as we are. I showed up for the photo. No matching sweaters. No cheesy backdrop. Just us in the backyard, sun soft behind the trees, everyone a little older, a little weathered, a little wiser. I stood between Michael and Lily. Dad beside Mom. The photographer counted down. 3, 2, 1. Click. And I smiled. Really smiled. Not because everything was perfect. Not because they'd done everything right. But because this moment. It was mine too. That photo's on their wall now. Center frame. No one's missing. And just under it, Mom placed a small plaque. I didn't ask for it. Didn't expect it. But it's there, in plain view. Welcome back, Anthony. Now, when I walk into that house, I don't look for my absence. I look for what we rebuilt. It wasn't forgiveness that changed us, it was truth. It was time. It was the choice to stop pretending and start owning who we are. And that house. It finally feels like home again. Not because they made space for me. But because I took it back, and this time, they were glad I did.